Do you think you'll ever be able to settle down and have a conversation and be friends with Kody and Robyn?
I can still be very friendly with Kody. I never really had much of a relationship with Robyn.
Hi, everyone. It's Alexa from Sister Wives Twist. Thank you for joining the channel once again. Do you remember the big blow-up fight between Janelle and Kody from a few seasons back? The blow-up took place in Janelle's old apartment, which Kody said was way too small and didn't have enough room for him. During that same fight, he all but told her to go and scream from the rooftops that he has been gaslighting, abusing, and manipulating her for forever. Did we really need him to say it, though? His entire persona is him saying it. Haven't we all been witnessing that for years? But remember how during the build-up to that season, Kody kept trying to shove Janelle into the box of act more like Robyn, as if it were a new season of an extreme makeover show? He kept saying, I have someone who's fundamentally loyal to me. You could have what I have with her if you were fundamentally loyal too. That basically meant, do what I say and shut up. It's true that Robyn fights back, but only because Kody is a little lovesick puppy when it comes to her and whatever magic she is working below the waist. Below the belt power means she's totally got him spellbound. And now he thinks that everyone should follow Robyn's example. Allow him to assume his man of the house role and get your children to behave. What he didn't come right out and say was, when we argue about the kids, you listen to me. Because at the time, Janelle wouldn't kick out two of her sons, Garrison and Gabriel, one of whom, as we all know now, has tragically passed. But when he had that same argument with Robyn about Dayton, they kicked Dayton out and made him live in an RV parked in the driveway. Look, I get that Suki has a job to do and has to ask tough questions, but I really wish we could stop forcing these questions about reconciliation. I wish people would stop asking these women if they see any chance of being friends with Kody again. I understand that when you share kids with someone, you're technically tied to them forever. But once those kids grow up, they get to form their own relationships with each parent separately. And as adults, they don't really need their parents to have a close relationship anymore. If the kid has a bond with you, that's your relationship with them. If they're close with the other parent, that's between them. There's no real need to cross paths unless it's for something like a wedding or birthday. And even at those events, you don't need to talk or even interact. You can just be two people in the same space. What I find strange, though, is how we're still pressing these women about being friendly with Kody. We keep asking why they can't just be friends with the man, and I just don't get it. I know this tell-all isn't going to bring up Garrison's passing. It was filmed back in the fall of 2024, a few months after his death. And if that loss had somehow helped bring people together or healed some wounds, maybe Kody and Janelle's relationship could have improved. But that's not how it played out. Kody didn't change. He didn't suddenly step up and become a better dad. He didn't magically start caring more about his kids. He definitely didn't take steps to protect Garrison's privacy. Instead, he broadcast it on national TV. He didn't take responsibility for how the show was used to punish the kids he saw as disobedient. Imagine how awful it must feel to have once been part of a reality show, then leave it, only to have your parents still on it, talking about you, dragging you into their drama, whether you like it or not. And if you want to set the record straight, you're basically forced to come back on the show. But doing that only feeds the cycle, gives your dad even more content to twist and weaponize against you. It's a never-ending loop, bullying, screaming, chaos. Then the episodes air again in reruns. Then the clips go viral on social media. One day, maybe 50 years from now, or maybe sooner, someone will do a full study on the harmful effects of reality TV on families, and especially on the kids. I would bet money that every single one of these kids has some level of trauma because of the show. So, yeah, with all of that in mind, Kody dragged Janelle through hell, and now Suki wants to ask if Janelle would still speak to him. Check it out.
Oh, I could sit and talk to them. That would be fine.
Yeah.
If it was all superficial, I would be fine. If we, I would talk to them. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it would be like if Janelle could just openly express what she truly feels? I think one of the main reasons she hesitates to answer certain questions is because she's always considering the ripple effect. How what she says might be picked up by the media, how her family might perceive it, how it might be interpreted by others. When you put something out into the world, especially publicly, it can have a lasting impact on a lot of people. So naturally, when your words could affect others in big or small ways, you tend to be more careful. From everything I've heard, and no, I haven't personally interacted with Janelle, but I've spoken to a lot of people who know her. I can tell you, everyone says the same thing. People who were around her in Flagstaff, friends from her Vegas days, even past members of their church, they all say Janelle is genuinely one of the kindest people you could ever meet. She's always been mindful about her words, careful not to hurt anyone's feelings, and just overall a thoughtful person. She's not calculated in a manipulative way. She's just very intentional with her words. And if you're in a vulnerable place, like after losing a child, you probably wouldn't want to go deep into emotional territory, like explaining why you don't want to have a relationship with your ex-husband. Over the past few seasons, I think it's become pretty obvious that Janelle and Robyn have nothing in common. Janelle's been clear about how she doesn't like how Kody treated her kids. She said time and time again that the relationship is irreparable because of how poorly he treated them, how he always wanted everyone to be like Robyn. I also think there might be a little bit of emotional distance there. Like, maybe it's easier for her not to think about the past, so she just chooses not to. You know what I mean? It's like when you've had a toxic ex who was so awful, you don't even want to analyze the reasons why you're done with them. You just are done. You've moved on. You don't even want to entertain the thought. But then, being on this show, you're kind of forced to revisit it. She might be at that place emotionally where she's just finished, completely over it. And now that Kody's no longer in her life, she doesn't want to keep digging into the reasons why she wants to keep it that way. Honestly, I think the tell-all could be asking more meaningful questions than just, would you be friends with Kody? I get it. It's a soundbite. And yes, hearing her say she wouldn't be friends with him makes for a good headline. But still, what if the questions were more focused on past events instead of hypotheticals? Something rooted in real incidents instead of speculating about what could be. We already know why she doesn't want a friendship with Kody. Would you want to be friends with someone who bullied your kids, who mistreated you, used you financially, degraded you, used your credit for homes, and then turned around and tried to win you back again and again? Janelle's been pulled back into Kody's orbit multiple times, but I think for her, the only real way to stay free of him is to go completely no contact. Some people, you just have to cut them out completely. And for Janelle, that seems like the only way to finally move on.
I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm not looking for it.
So she finally said it. I just don't like them. She doesn't like Kody. She doesn't like Robyn. At the end of Tell All Part 1, Janelle made it very clear. She pointed out how Kody has basically taken on this villain persona to shield Robyn, how he's taken the fall for all the behavior and decisions that really came from her. She was referring to things like the infamous COVID rules, the constant tension between Kody and the kids, and the way Robyn seemed to create division or stir up conflict within the family. Now, yes, Kody obviously plays his part too, but he's the one out here acting like he's making all the calls, that it's his authority behind everything. He claimed he was the one setting the rules, making the decisions, but we all know that's not the full story. One of the major breaking points in Janelle and Kody's relationship came down to those same COVID rules. But really, those rules were nothing more than a smokescreen. Kody didn't even follow them himself, and they knew that. Everyone knew that. And the truth? Those rules came directly from Robyn, every single one of them. It was crystal clear that Robyn was behind it. But Kody went on lying over and over again, pretending like they were his rules. But the real reason behind it? Control. Robyn needed to maintain control over the family, over the narrative, over people's behavior. Think about that whole situation around the group text and the Christmas gift exchange. How she got upset and tried to pull rank because not everyone jumped onto a Zoom call when she wanted. That Zoom call wasn't just about chatting, it was about filming. She wanted them to film, plain and simple, and when people didn't want to do it, she lost it. Which is ironic, considering Robyn always claims she hates filming. Yet here she is, trying to direct everyone behind the scenes for scenes. And for what, in my opinion? So she can keep funding her little shopping habit. So when things didn't go her way, she got mad, called the whole thing pointless, and spun this whole narrative in her head about how nobody respects her. She told the kids they caused her trauma, all because they didn't jump on her schedule. And let's talk about that. Robyn was 44 years old at the time. The kids, all minors when she entered their lives. Not a single one of them was an adult when Robyn joined the family. And grown adults do not get to blame children for their trauma. Children are still learning, still developing. Their brains aren't fully formed, especially the parts responsible for emotion, impulse control, and decision-making. So if you, as the adult, are getting traumatized by kids being kids, that's on you, not on them. But Robyn has never really taken responsibility for any of that. So Kody steps in. He takes the blame. He acts like he's the one behind all of it. And now he feels like he has to protect Robyn from all the trauma she supposedly suffered at the hands of his children. What's really happening? Robyn has convinced Kody that the entire world is out to get her. She's painted herself as the victim of these so-called bullies, and Kody's fallen for it completely. As Janelle pointed out, he's now shouldering the consequences of her actions just to shield her, so people don't see what Robyn is really doing. But the thing is, we do see it. We've always seen it. Yet Kody still chooses to play the villain just to keep Robyn protected from criticism. And that says it all. And let's be clear, Kody is a villain in his own right. No one's denying that. But now he's added this extra layer, being the villain for Robyn, so she can keep playing the victim. Maybe he thinks if he covers for her, she'll cover for him. Like it's some kind of trade-off. You get what I mean? But if you're in a relationship with someone like Janelle and you realize that honesty is no longer an option, that you can't even talk openly about family issues because those dynamics aren't just about two people anymore, what do? In plural families, everything is intertwined. You can't isolate one relationship from the rest. Everyone's behavior influences everyone else. And Robyn? Her hands were in everything. She was a driving force behind the tension between Kody and Garrison. She never let go of the fact that Garrison stood up to her, called her out about the COVID rules, the unequal time, the unequal money, and how she blocked their dad from having a genuine relationship with them. She never moved on from that. Kody doesn't have to do what Robyn says. He's a grown man. But in their dysfunctional marriage, it's all codependent. Robyn constantly feeds his ego. She's his narcissistic supply. So, of course, he's going to defend her, stand by her. Robyn keeps insisting that all these broken relationships were just between two people. But that's not true. The breakdown happened because Kody and Robyn were always a team, always one unit, and they just pretended to be a family on camera for over a decade. The show gave them money and attention, and the other wives were stuck playing along. They were supporting a lie. Meanwhile, Robyn and Kody reaped the rewards, and the rest of the wives had to hustle outside the show, whether it was through MLMs, businesses, or other side gigs, just to survive. Kody's income and the money from the show, all of it funneled in one direction, to Kody and Robyn. So, yeah, there are plenty of reasons Janelle wouldn't like them. I mean, how do you even have a real conversation with people who refuse to take responsibility when one of them is always covering for the other? They're constantly deflecting, constantly dodging blame. How do you build trust in that situation? You can't. You can't trust them to support you. You can't count on them to be reliable. You can't even trust Kody as a father or as a partner. You can't rely on him to keep your confidence because everything goes straight back to Robyn, who, let's be real, is going to twist it and make herself the victim again. Their entire relationship seems exhausting. So when Janelle says, I just don't like them, now you really know why. And that's the soundbite. That's the takeaway. Apparently, in the upcoming episode, Janelle's gonna dive deeper into Kody's villain role, so we'll hear more about that soon. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching. See you next time.